In this video, we will talk about the midpoint formula. So also in a coordinate plane, let's call it x, y. We have 2 points. Similarly, let's call it P1, P2, and assign P1 is x1, y1. Assign P2 as x2, y2. Right. So what is the midpoint of P1 and P2? Well, if we connect P1 and P2, the segment P1, P2, the point right in the middle, let's call it M, and this point is the midpoint of P1 and P2. Okay, so how do we find the coordinate of the midpoint of P1 and P2? Well, first let's look at the x-coordinate. So that's the x-coordinate for the midpoint, M. Okay, where is it? Well, do you agree this point is right in between of x1 and x2? So how do we represent it using mathematical expressions? Well, we can see it as the average of x1 and x2. So we see it's x1 plus x2 divided by 2. So this is the x-coordinate of M. Similarly, for the y-coordinate of M, okay, so for the y-coordinate of M is right in the middle of y1 and y2. In other words, the y-coordinate of M is the average of y1 and y2, which is y1 plus y2 divided by 2. So the midpoint of P1 and P2 is x1 plus x2 divided by 2. This is the x-coordinate of the midpoint, and the y-coordinate is y1 plus y2 divided by 2. Okay, so a quick example here. So say we have 2 points. The first point, let's call it 3 and -4, for example. The second point, let's call it -1 and -5, for example. All right, so now I want to find the midpoint of these 2 points. So I'm going to use the midpoint formula. Well, the x-coordinate of my midpoint would be x1 plus x2 divided by 2. So x1, y1, x2, y2. Right. So the x-coordinate would be x1 plus x2 divided by 2, which is 3 plus -1 divided by 2. And the y-coordinate of the midpoint will be y1 plus y2 divided by 2, so which is -4 plus -5 divided by 2, which is, what is this? 2 divided by 2, 1, and -4 divided by, well, so, right, -4 minus 5 divided by 2 will be -9 over 2. And This is the midpoint of the 2 points given.